Hello, I'm Ty Mason of the DiabetesCouncil.com, researcher, writer, and I have type 2 diabetes. Now, I want to emphasize that my perspective is coming from one with type 2 and not type 1 diabetes. Our channel is primarily targeted for those with type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes. Now, today I want to answer your question, how did I get pre-diabetes? After you watch the video today, I invite you to check out the description box for my new ebook. This is one of the most comprehensive diabetes meal planning books you can find anywhere. It contains diabetes-friendly meals and recipes for different goals such as 800 to 1800 calories per day meal plans, diabetes meal planning tips and tricks, and there are also tons of diabetes-friendly recipes for everyone. Now, this is a very common question with a not so easy answer. How you got to be a person with pre-diabetes can have many factors. I first want to say that most people, when they find out that they have diabetes or pre-diabetes, they fall into two categories in regard to the situation. They either blame themselves or they blame others. Now, truthfully, blame is kind of like shutting the barn door after the horse has already got out. It's pretty useless. The horse is still out and there's work to do now. Nothing is really resolved from blame, so my advice, don't do it. You have it. How did you get here? Well, the staff at the Mayo Clinic says that there are several factors that contribute to pre-diabetes. Some of these factors you have absolutely no control over, especially the first one. While the exact cause of pre-diabetes is unknown, family history and genetics appear to play a very important role. Now, inactivity and excess fat, especially abdominal fat, also seem to be important factors. What is clear is that people with pre-diabetes don't process sugar properly anymore. As a result, sugar accumulates in the bloodstream instead of doing its normal job of fueling the cells that make up muscles and other tissue. Most of the glucose in your body comes from the food you eat. When food is digested, sugar enters your bloodstream. Moving sugar from your bloodstream to your body's cells requires a hormone called insulin. Insulin comes from a gland located behind the stomach called the pancreas. Your pancreas secretes insulin into your bloodstream when you eat. Now, as insulin circulates, it allows sugar to enter your cells and lowers the amount of sugar in your bloodstream. As your blood sugar level drops, so does the secretion of insulin from your pancreas. Now, when you have pre-diabetes, this process begins to work improperly. Instead of fueling your cells, sugar builds up in your bloodstream, and high blood sugar occurs when your pancreas doesn't make enough insulin, or your cells become resistant to the action of insulin, and it could be both. There are several risk factors involved for the development of pre-diabetes. Now, these risk factors are the same risk of developing type 2 diabetes as well as increasing the risk of developing pre-diabetes. So really, this list is for both those of you with type 2 and with pre-diabetes. Number one is weight. Being overweight is the primary risk factor for pre-diabetes. The more fatty tissue you have, especially inside and between the muscle and skin around your abdomen, the more resistant your cells become to insulin. Another factor is waist size. A large waist size can indicate insulin resistance. The risk of insulin resistance goes up for men with waists larger than 40 inches and for women with waists larger than 35 inches. Dietary patterns. Eating red meat and processed meat, drinking sugary sweetened beverages is associated often with a higher risk of pre-diabetes. A diet high in fruits, vegetables, nuts, whole grains, and olive oil is associated with a lower risk of pre-diabetes. Another risk factor is inactivity. The less active you are, the greater your risk of pre-diabetes. Physical activity helps you control your weight, uses up glucose as energy, and makes your cells more sensitive to insulin. Age. Although diabetes can develop at any age, the risk of prediabetes increases after age of 45. Now, this may be because People tend to exercise less, lose muscle mass, and gain weight as they age. A family history. Your risk of prediabetes increases if you have a parent or sibling with type 2 diabetes. Race. Now, although it's unclear why, people of certain races are more likely to develop prediabetes. They include African Americans, Hispanics, Native Americans, Asian Americans, and Pacific Islanders. Gestational diabetes. If you develop gestational diabetes while pregnant, you and your child are at a higher risk of developing prediabetes. If you gave birth to a baby who weighed more than 9 pounds, you're also at increased risk of prediabetes. Polycystic ovary syndrome. Now, this is a common condition characterized by irregular menstrual periods, excessive hair growth, and obesity, but it also increases women's risk of prediabetes. And the last on our list, sleep. People with a certain sleep disorder, obstructive sleep apnea, have an increased risk of insulin resistance. Also, people who work changing shifts or night shifts, possibly causing sleeping problems, may have an increased risk of prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Now, as I told you at the beginning of this video, although this is a common question, it is not easy to answer. So I suggest you focus on the fact that you do have it and work hard to keep it from developing any further. Don't forget to get my new ebook, and please subscribe to our channel for many more videos like this one in the future. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ty Mason.